The continuation of the topic, and so these are the trial and error theory. Okay, and next we go for the second one. Okay, theory of insightful learning. So here theory of insightful learning means, okay, so I'll be showing the picture here is what are the chimpanzees, yes or no? So on these only, the chimpanzee only, they have done the procedure. Okay, so what is this theory means? It is a typical human learning and includes a cognitive process. Okay, so what is the main theme of this insider learning, and where it has been done on the human learning in order to improve the cognitive process. Okay, and the type of learning or problem solving that happens of all of sudden. So what they are saying that in our day to day process, and we will be having these type of puzzles we'll be having, and how we are in cognitive way, and how we are going to handle these type of insight learning. Okay, and that makes the situation to be in a generalized process. Okay, so what they have taken here. Okay, so the main prognostic of this theory is he did an experiment on the chimpanzees called sultani. Okay, so what experiment they have done here means, okay, see here the picture. Yes, so the chimpanzee is there, and they have hanged the bananas here, and what the chimpanzee is doing, and whatever the things are there, boxes are there, and it is making to, so make the banana to be fall down, yes or no? So and she is making all the boxes, and one by one he is making, and making into catch. Okay, first the process, the chimpanzee is jumping and trying, and second thing, and with the boxes it is throwing, and the third thing what he has made, what the chimpanzee have done, and the chimpanzee made the boxes step by step, and he reached the goal. And one more experiment he has explained that, yes, so the experimenter, okay, so the author, so he made that one stick, yes, so two sticks separately he kept. Okay, so it is a joining stick. Okay, so what the chimpanzee have made means, with the one stick only, so he's going on trying jumping and jumping. So at last the process, the chimpanzee so made the stick to be joined together, and remove the banana from the object. Okay, so that thing only they are explaining here, using a boxes to reach the banana, or using boxes and stick to reach the banana. So this experiment follows some simple principles, that is identifying the problem, organizing the pain of action, and using insight. Okay, so here identifying the problem, so identifying the problem means, yes, so from where the problem has been arises. Okay, and organizing the pain of action, and what situation it is, so in that situation, and you have to use your insight. And so your insight means, so with this situation, and what plan I have to make. So that is very very important. Okay, so that is regarding of insight learning. Okay, so what are the factors affecting of insight learning? So experience. Okay, so whenever you want to do certain activities, the experience is very very important. Okay, so without experience you are not going to do this learning process. And second one is intelligence. So with the basic and acquired intelligence, you are not going to catch this one. Okay, so the acquire nothing else but, so the aptitude of intelligence is needed for this process. And learning situation, so learning situation means favorable learning is situations is not indicated for that. Okay, so nothing else but everything should be known to them, then only they can learn this insight learning. And initial effort, so initial effort means, so a short period of planning. So what they are saying that, so whenever they want to do certain activities, planning is very very important. So as the chimpanzee had made the stick together, or so the chimpanzee made the boxes step by step, and catching the goal of banana. And repetition and generalization means learn to solve a problem by practicing. So that is also factors affecting in this theory of insight learning. Okay, and next one, third one is a learning by observation. Okay, so here learning by observation. Okay, okay, so learning by observation is nothing else but, so it is also a part of the trial and error and the insight learning. So see here, a child may understand the effect of wrong behavior by seeing his friend and getting punishment for the same. So for example, like so the teacher has given a subject for you, yes. So whenever the teacher has given assignment for you, yes, the lady and one the group in the group itself, so one girl had did not attend the work, so the teacher is giving the punishment. So automatically whatever the punishment that I have given to her, so that behavior is not going to be repeated for the other student, okay. And whereas and whenever you are seeing with small children, yes, so they are imitating the words and the character of the teacher, right? Yes, and how the teacher is behaving, the same way the children's in the home itself they'll be playing, and how the teachers will act, and so they'll be imitating their father and mother, like cooking, playing and talking, everything they will imitate, and so they will be repeating the same situation is called as a learning by observation, okay. So that is the main aspects of this learning by observation. So the no theory, observation means what? By seeing others we are learning, so that is called as learning by observation. And next go for the fourth one, okay, that is learning by conditioning, okay. So here the learning by conditioning is going to divide into two types, that is classical condition and operant condition. Okay, so here classical condition, so means what they are doing means, so repeatedly two stimuli are repeatedly paired a response which is so in simple way I'll explain that what is a classical condition means. Yes, so repeatedly, so they will be having exposed to the certain stimuli, okay. So and again the same situation the individual is going to be responded continuously, okay. So in the theory will be there, and one example I will give you regarding this classical condition. And so daily, whenever you are in a college and daily your friend is going to be wake up at a 5 o'clock continuously and making some of the stimulus showing a pleasant nature in the environment, and on continuously automatically on the third day you will be wake uping and to see the natural stimuli of the individuals, yes or no. So that is a classical condition, okay. And a baby, okay, so one more example, that a baby will be, so one day so the mother will provide a milk for the baby automatically, so no, the second day automatically the baby will crave to have the milk and by seeing the mother. Yes, that is called as a classical conditioning. And next one is operant conditioning. So operant conditioning means what? So they in this operant conditioning, so there will be having positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement means, and having a positive punishments and negative punishments, okay. So by that also they are going to improve the thing. Yes, so I'll be explaining you in depth regarding of these two types of classical condition. So first one is what? Classical condition, okay. See here, so the classical condition is going to be explained by whom? The Pavlov's experiment. Okay, is it clear? What is that? Pavlov's experiment. So what he have done here, yes, so harness to the restricted movement by the subject and tube for the collecting saliva from the subject mouth and amount of saliva recorded here. So why they have done here means, so what the Pavlov have done here, yes, so he bought a fruit, okay, so he bought a food daily, he will bring the food. See here the procedure they have given here. Okay, so I'll be explaining you. So what is going to be there here means, so daily the Pavlov used to keep a food for the dog by ringing the bell, okay. So daily, for example, he'll ring the bell and automatically he'll give the food and the dog will come and have the food to eat, okay. And continuously the 4 days he has continued to the same process, and he'll ring the bell and he'll keep the food and the dog will come and have the food, okay. And the 5th day also the Pavlov's, he will ring the bell but he will not keep the food, so but the dog will use to saliva, okay. So means, so the thought of behavior of dog is what? Immediately when the bell rings automatically, so the Pavlos is going to be keep the food for the dog, so automatically the dog is having a subject of salivation and subject from the mouth. So that is an experiment, okay. So what he is explaining here means, okay, so what he is explaining means, so he is explaining that, Yes, when a person forms a mental association between two stimulus, so that encountering one stimulus means the person think of the other. So what is going to be there here? For example, so continuously he will doing the same work, and automatically so he will be habituation to do the same thing and continuation to the other process, habituation. Okay, and because and he is a neutral stimulus. Okay, so neutral stimulus means what? A stimulus that before conditioning has no effect on the desired response. So what they are saying that, and it don't have any neutral stimulus, and the dog kept an idea that yes, the bell rings and automatically, so the dog thinks that the Pavlos is going to be keep the food. Yes or no? And next one is unconditional stimulus. So unconditional stimulus means it's a stimulus that brings about a response without having been learned. Okay, so without learning only he is having the responses. Okay, so here I'll be showing these four kind of responses. Okay, sorry. So here they have given the unconditional stimulus and the unconditional responses and the conditional stimulus. Okay, so neutral stimulus means, so before the response is not there, the dog and comes and eats the food, there is no response for the drug. Unconditional stimulus, so unconditional stimulus means, so with the stimulus, okay, for example the Pavlos is cooking food and the dog is coming and eating, that is called as unconditional stimulus. Okay, and unconditional response, so unconditional response means yes, so and the Pavlos is making the dog to be considered to the action. And conditional stimulus means what? And he is making some ringing the bell and making the stimulus to be responded. And conditional response means, and the Pavlos what he is doing, and he will ring the bell but he will not give the food, so that response he is going to show in the terminologies used in the Pavlos experiment. Okay, so here unconditional stimulus, so what it is? The natural stimulus of the food, nothing else but the smell. And next, unconditional response means the natural response of salivation. By seeing the food it is salivating. And conditional stimulus, okay, artificial stimulus, what is that? The ringing the bell. Okay, the response to conditional stimulus. Okay, so without keeping the food only, the dog is salivating. So that is only the four types of elements. Okay, and similar experiment by Watson, he has explained that, so the baby was given with a rabbit to play with and the baby was happy and pleasant. Okay, and he created a loud noise to frighten the boy as soon as the baby touched the rabbit. So automatically what the baby has done, so the baby was frightened and he repeatedly done for the number of times, and the baby was feared to touch the rabbit. So that is also similar concept to the Pavlos. Okay, so it is one more experiment given by classical condition. Okay, and next one is the principles of classical condition. So here the acquisition. So acquisition nothing else but, so initial learning of conditional response. Here condition is bell. So by ringing the bell, so the dog is salivating, means so the behavior the dog is learning that if bell rings automatically the food is going to be kept by the Pavlos. Yes, and next one is extension. So extension means what? So responding repeatedly, presenting the situation, means in conditional he is ringing the bell, so by unconditionally, so the dog is salivating, so that process called as extension. So that is a explanation forwarded. Okay, and next was spontaneous recovery. Okay, so spontaneous recovery means what? Extension does not mean that, however, the dog has simply unlearned and forgot the association between the bell and the food. So what is going to be there? And 3 times he is doing the ringing the bell and keeping the food. Yes, and what the person is doing? The 4th day has stopped the ringing the bell and he kept the food. And 5th day, and continuously is habituated to the same situation, the dog is going to be habituated to the spontaneous recovery, that yes, the Pavlov is not ringing the bell and keeping the food. Okay, and generalization. So generalization means what? the child may show the little fear of smaller dogs. Okay, so according to Albert, and he has shown some experiment on the so boy and the rabbit, right? So whenever he is catching the rabbit and they are showing a sound, so with that and she is forgetting to the process. Okay, and generalization means, and they will be having a situations like small puppies and they will not bite, and whereas a larger and dogs, black dogs, and they will be bitten, right? Okay, so that type of phenomena is called as a generalization. Okay, and next, discrimination. So discrimination means what? See here, a child may show a fear response a freely roaming dogs, but may show no fear when your dog is on the leash and confined to a pen. So what they are saying that discrimination means whatever the same situation that happened to that dog, and the other situation is going to be happen to the other person. See here, and if the one person, his pet dogs are there, and he will not fear about the other dogs also, because and the same feeling that is all dogs are similar. So whatever the situation and love towards his pet dog is there, and automatically and he will show the same situation on the other dogs also. Okay, and next one, okay, application of the classical condition. So how, in which situations we have to apply these classical conditions? Okay, like for example phobias. If somebody are fearing towards one object, so what we have to do? If we are frequently we are making the exposure, for example, and one person he has a fear with the nights darkness, so what we have to do? So we have to make the exposure of darkness frequently to the person, automatically one day and he will be having the exposed to frequently the situation. Okay, so that is a process of phobia. So also we can give this conditions. Okay, and next one is alcoholism. Patient drinks alcoholic beverages and ingest a drug that produce a nausea, so automatically so some de-addiction process they are giving. So what they are giving means, and whenever they are giving alcohol, so certain addiction de-addiction drugs will be there. So whenever they ingest these drugs, and it will makes the nausea behavior whenever they drink the alcohol, so automatically so the patient will stop, the person will stop the drinking of alcohol. Okay, and second one, so in the classical condition is first one, and second one is what? Operant condition. Okay, so here operant condition, so it is also the same meaning like a first what we have discussed, the dog and that one, right? So the same thing here also they have explained here. Okay, so here what they have done, so a design of this puzzle box they have kept, and here let the when pressed poured a cup of water and food they have kept. Okay, each time the lever is pressed and sound also was created, and he put a hunger thirst rat in the cage and regular intervals, and he used to press the lever and feed the rat. So few times later the rat started doing it by itself, and whenever he felt hungry and thirsty, so the sound associated with it and food water acted as a positive reinforcement. Okay, so understood, is easy clear? So what they have done means, so first, so the Skinner have done an experiment, operant experiment, that so first he had make a hunger cat in the box. Okay, and whenever and he is pressing the Skinner has made that with the lever he is pressing and he is giving a water and food, and automatically what the rat is doing, and the later and the rat is also learning the behavior that is, so if he'll having a press towards this one, and he can easily have a food and drinking towards the situation. So that's make the person to be process. Okay, so it's the speaker, signal lights, and the lever, and the patent dispenser, this one, and dispenser tube, and this is a food cup which is passes the food to the rat, and this is a electrical grid which makes the sound. Yes, so that is a Skinner experiment what he has explained. And this operant condition has two principles. Okay, so that is reinforcement, that is positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. So positive reinforcement means what? So a method of strengthening behavior by following the pleasant stimulus. So means what? For example, now yes, I am giving an assignment for you. Yes, so just I'll say that to learn the process, positive reinforcement I'll give. So if you are learning this, and you will be having a good life in your situation. So negative reinforcement means what? So like giving impositions. Okay, 10 times write the 10 times imposition, automatically you are going to acquire the answer, means so that is a two principles between positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Okay, and next one is a punishment. Okay, so the second one is what? Punishment. So by positive punishment will be there and negative punishment will be there. So positive punishment means what? So involves reducing the behavior by delivering an unpleasant stimulus. So means what? For example, a mother who is in the home, and he will ask some situations to go outside and do certain works in the home, and if you are doing certain work and I will be cook and give you some other pleasant items, automatically the child will do the thing because some pleasant item is there. Yes or no? And next one, negative behavior. So negative means what? By beating the child, and the mother is making the child to do the activity. Okay, and next one is a shaping. Okay, so shaping means what? Here shaping means and changing the behavior of the individual. First they are performing and doing, and later and making the child to be do the certain activity. So in the Skinner operant condition already we have discussed. First the Skinner have done the activity. Later the rat is also learning the same activity and how to drink the water and take the food from the bone. Okay, so one more example I'll give you that. Yes, whenever you are doing FON procedures, and first madam will teach you the procedure how to do it is, and later and make the practice by you. That process is called as a shaping. Okay, and the next one is a extension. So extension means, see here what they are doing here means, and extension. So extension means if a rat has learned to press a lever because it received food from doing, so its liver pressing will decreases and eventually disappears if food is no longer delivered. So what they are doing that, if the Skinner is not keeping a food, but frequently activities is doing by pressing and drinking the water. And if the liver is not having a food, so whether it can drink? No. So automatically the behavior is going to be changed by the person. Okay, and next one, so generalization and discrimination. Okay, so generalization and discrimination, nothing else but here generalization means, so a man who is rewarded with laughter and when he tells certain jokes, yes, so automatically he will be making a generalization. So if he is not making a jokes, okay, for example you take that, so whenever you are seeing an ETV, so Jabardast, whenever you are seeing, if frequently nice jokes are there, so we'll appreciate them, yes. So if jokes are not good, and what we'll do, so we'll discriminate them. So that process also called as operant generalization and discrimination. Okay, and next one, so application of operant condition. So where this operant condition is useful for parents and teacher, it is very useful. Why? Because and the parents to change the behavior of the children, and teachers and to change the behavior of the children, and therapists also use these type of the behavioral reinforcements. Okay, and next one, next theory is the humanistic theory of learning. Okay, so what is a humanistic theory of learning? So humanistic theory of learning means, already in the motivation you have learned that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Okay, that is physiological, safety, love and belonging, self-esteem and self-actualization. So these process indicates the humanistic theory of learning. So already in motivation you have finished this. Okay, and next one is a Rogers theory of learning. So here Rogers theory of learning explained you that, okay, so in the Rogers theory, so mainly this Rogers theory is explained for the type of learning as a cognitive and experimental learning. Okay, so for example, like, so in the learning process only it has been explained. Okay, so in the for the students especially, so what is this learning process and cognitive process means, see here, so meaningful unless it is applied. Example, mathematics, history and geography. So means experimental learning means what? Self initiation and self evaluation. Okay, and cognitive learning, so cognitive learning means, and they'll give some problems and how they are going to act that problems. And experiment means what? For example, so doing in different types of experiments. Okay, so in intermediate you are doing a physics, right? Same thing. Okay, and by this Rogers theory, and you are going to know about your strength and potentiality of the human being, and these will enhance your interest also, and the growth and development also is going to be increased in this Rogers theory. Okay, so he classifies the role of teacher as a Rogers theory of learning. So why he explained in the role of teacher means, so the teacher only is going to be explain and give the information regarding of the subject, yes or no? Yes, and favorable and positive environment you have to provide. Okay, so to do the experiment and clear objectives of the learning, you have to show and organizing learning resources and balancing intellectual and emotional components, and sharing the feelings for one person to other person. You have to share the feelings and symbols of good learning you have to show. Means, for example, like a good participation of the learning and good performance in practical, social and personal and research areas. See, for example, I will give you certain idea. The teacher will give the idea regarding of the one's topic, right? And how to prepare a pollution in a science fair you will be seeing, right? Yes, the teacher will be giving an idea, so the student will be keeping a practical part of the action. Yes, so that process is called as a Rogers theory of learning. Okay, and next one is a transfer of learning. Okay, so here transfer of learning is a two types will be there. Okay, so that is positive transfer, negative, sorry, three types: positive transfer, negative transfer and the zero transfer. Okay, positive transfer means what? Okay, learning of basic science help in learning higher education, means how we are studying now. Okay, negative transfer means, okay, so a child learns to pronounce but correctly but finds difficult in pronouncing put in the same manner. Okay, so some difficulties in the learning process the child may feel. So zero transfer nothing else but learning science and arts, means in depth regarding of the science and the experiments of the science on the, like doing an experiments, okay, on cockroach bisectioning and the plant bisectioning. So these all the experiment is a zero transfers. Okay, and next one is our study habits. Okay, so how you can make a study habits in the learning means, yes, in a college anyway, so you will be having idea this. In order to make the learning habit of a students, what we'll do, so we'll set a time, right? Establishing a proper time schedule for the studying. Okay, so not getting enough time, for example, get up at 5 o'clock and keeping a timetable, and evening 6 to 10 o'clock. So punctual timing they will predict for the children's. And second one is observation desirable healthy habits of carrying a time schedule of the study. And why? Because if you are making this a timetable of the process, and you will be having a concentration and attention towards the object. Okay, and adopt a desirable mode and a time of note material making is important, and there should be no stress or depending on the mechanical memorization. So what they are doing, so in the study habits you should not think that it is a process of stubborn. Yes, and you have to make use of that time in using of learning process. And whenever you are making a study, and whenever you are making of a observational desire of habits, and you will be practice makes a man perfect by revising and practicing. Okay, and better to study 3 or 4 subjects in a span of time or 3 or 4 hours, means so day by day classes, and you have to read and revise. Okay, and what is the next one? Love and respect your teachers. So whenever you are loving and respecting your teachers, and automatically, and you will be having a enthusiasm to listen towards the teachers information. Okay, and maintain healthy desirable body posture. So whenever you are reading, an unnecessary position you should not be select, and your position should be good and enough, like straight enough forward, and the book should be in front of you. Eyesight should be not far or too close. Okay, and try to observe the principle of work and rest. Okay, so that you have to observe the food habits. And next one is respect the individual differences. So individual differences means studying early morning or late nights, and studying in silence and music listening, and studying alone with the classmates, or reading silently or reciting louder. So don't feel jealous on the other abilities. If one person is having a good knowledge, he will be learning, because so she will be having a goal towards the person. Okay, and study when you feel motivated and energetic only. So when you are stressed and when you are bored, you don't read, so it will not enter into your mind. Okay, and best way to learn is discussion. So already I explained in the class, whenever you are studying, so the group discussion is very very important. Okay, like teaching others and practicing what you have learned, so it is the best one to learn the process. Okay, so these are all the theories of learning and study habits. Okay, so that is regarding of learning. Thank you.